Throughout the golden era of radio and television, few figures attracted as much attention as the late great Bud Collyer. With a voice as unmistakable as his talent, Collyer shined brightly as the charismatic host of iconic game shows like Beat the Clock and To Tell the Truth. While he was arguably best known for these two popular offerings, Bud's fame transcended the game show world as he donned the role of Clark Kent and Superman, initially on radio and later in animated features. Despite being a man of unwavering faith and immeasurable talent, a shadow sadly loomed over his shining career in his later years, a darkness that drew close as his health began to falter. Join us as Factsverse presents the sad truth about Bud Collyer's cause of death. From law school to the airwaves. Bud Collyer, originally named Clayton Heermance, was born in Manhattan on June 18, 1908, to Clayton Johnson Heermance and Caroline Collyer. From a young age, he seemed destined for the courtroom rather than the microphone. Initially pursuing a legal career, Collyer found himself amidst the historic walls of Williams College, joining the distinguished Psi Upsilon fraternity and later the corridors of Fordham University's law school. Though post-graduation saw him step into the world of law as a clerk, the allure and promise of radio beckoned irresistibly. Discovering he could earn in a single month from broadcasting what took an entire year in his legal role, Collyer made a decisive shift. With a change in his surname and a growing passion for the airwaves, by 1940 he had etched his presence across all three major radio networks. Bud's dynamic voice and charismatic presence secured him leading or pivotal roles in a wide range of radio dramas. Fans revered him in The Man I Married, portraying Adam Waring, cheered for him as Tom and Kate Hopkins' Angel of Mercy, and sympathized with his character Michael Conway in Pretty Kitty Kelly. From playing Pat Ryan in Terry and the Pirates, to taking on the titular role in Renfrew of the Mounted, and capturing hearts as Abby Levy in Abby's Irish Rose, Collyer's versatility was evident. Beyond character acting, his voice also became synonymous with popular radio soap operas, guiding listeners through stories of The Guiding Light and anchoring tales from the Goldbergs. As the 40s dawned with a plethora of roles already under his belt, little did the world know an iconic role, destined to further cement Bud Collyer's legacy, was on the horizon. Bud played Superman over 2,000 times. 1940 marked a momentous occasion, as that was the year when Bud Collyer first embraced the dual roles of Superman and his alter ego Clark Kent for the radio program The Adventures of Superman. The show, launched just 2 years after Superman's debut in Action Comics, immediately gained traction. Initially broadcast in bite-sized 15-minute episodes 3 to 5 times a week, it later expanded to thrice-weekly, half-hour slots in 1949. At that period, Superman was more than a pop culture icon. He was a sensation, and the radio show was a significant event. Interestingly, Collyer's first reaction to the character was skepticism, fearing personal and professional embarrassment, but it quickly transformed into what he called a magnificent career within a career. The creative process behind the scenes was a rich blend of discipline and playfulness. In a 1966 radio interview, Collyer reminisced about the fast-paced read-throughs, dress rehearsals, and hilarity that often ensued. He went on to recall how his fellow actors would indulge in exaggerated portrayals during rehearsal to expel laughter, ensuring a realistic performance during the live broadcast. Collyer's belief in playing fantasy honestly and whole hog led to a magical quality that charmed listeners. Superman's fantastical adventures continued to thrive, and Collyer led his voice to a staggering 2,088 radio episodes, 17 visually stunning animated shorts, and 68 episodes of the Saturday morning cartoon The New Adventures of Superman. His signature move was the seamless transition between Clark Kent's gentle voice to the robust and authoritative tones of the Man of Steel, famously punctuated with, "This looks like a job for Superman." Reflecting on the demanding role, Collyer later confessed to feeling overwhelmed at times, but he always managed to find the strength to deliver exceptional performances. The Adventures of Superman concluded its run in 1951, making way for the televised incarnation with George Reeves. Though rumors swirled Collyer was first approached for the TV role, he laughingly dismissed them, citing his less-than-heroic physique as the reason he was passed over. Game show gold. Bud Collyer's enthralling role as Superman was merely the launch pad, propelling him into the big leagues. Before long, the game show arena beckoned. Venturing into game shows, he first co-hosted ABC's Break the Bank alongside charismatic Burt Parks, who later became synonymous with the Miss America pageant. His talent was unmistakable, and soon the iconic duo of Mark Goodson and Bill Todman cast him as the host for their inaugural game show, Winner Take All. 1950, however, marked the major turning point in Collier's career with the introduction of Beat the Clock, a game show that catapulted him to household fame. Participants, particularly couples, would race against time, attempting to conquer eccentric and occasionally messy tasks, euphemistically referred to as problems. These problems, vaguely reminiscent of what you might see in today's TikTok challenges, often awarded winners with tantalizing cash prizes or indispensable home appliances. Bud's charisma shined through as he energetically navigated the stage, often lending contestants a helping hand or crucial piece of advice. One couldn't miss his signature style of clutching the long tubed stage microphone under his arm, all while sporting a dapper bow tie. Incidentally, he reportedly had a particular fondness for fellow bow tie guys, and much like his contemporary Art Linkletter, he deeply cherished interactions with contestants' families, especially the children. Beat the Clock saw such immense popularity that even the iconic The Honeymooners had Ralph Cramden and Ed Norton try their luck on it. Even though he already had much to be proud of, Collier's magic was far from over. In 1956, he ventured into another Goodson-Todman masterpiece, To Tell the Truth, showcasing a different side of his hosting prowess. The show's format, a panel of celebrities interrogating 3 contestants, all claiming a singular identity, was yet another massive hit. Collier's calm and collected demeanor contrasted sharply with his more animated Beat the Clock persona. Yet he introduced an element of suspense with his now iconic phrase, "Will the real blank please stand up?" Frequently, the show threw in a comedic curveball, especially memorable when 2 Bob Millers, both representing the New York Mets, stood up to claim their identity. For 14 years, Collyer graced both a weekday and evening version of To Tell the Truth, with an ensemble of celebrities like Tom Poston, Peggy Cass, Orson Bean, and others taking turns on the panel. Bud's tragic death. Bud Collier's seemingly indomitable spirit eventually met a challenge that even the Man of Steel could not overcome. As the entertainment world buzzed with excitement about the revival of To Tell the Truth for syndication, producers Mark Goodson and Bill Todman naturally envisioned Collyer, their original maestro, returning to his cherished hosting seat. However, the charismatic host, ever so graceful even amidst adversity, declined the offer, attributing his decision to deteriorating health. When approached, another renowned figure, Gary Moore, reached out to Collyer seeking his perspective. With a hint of resignation, Collyer reportedly confessed, "I am just not up to it." In a cruel twist of fate that seemed almost poetic in its melancholy, Bud Collyer, at age 61, passed away from a circulatory ailment in Greenwich, Connecticut. The day marked not just the end of a legendary journey, but also the premiere of the new To Tell the Truth in daytime syndication. Today, Bud Collyer rests peacefully at Putnam Cemetery in Greenwich, Connecticut. In remembrance of his contributions to entertainment, DC Comics honored him posthumously in 1985, including him amongst the 50 who made DC great in their 50th anniversary commemoration. Now it's time to hear from you. Did Bud Collier's story resonate with you? Do you have a memory of him that you'd like to share? Drop it in the comments section below.